Hello there! This is something new, right? Welcome to my first video in English. For the video of this week, I'll be showing the process for this fan art piece based on the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. As you can see, I started this piece by doing the initial sketch, the base sketch. Basically, I just divided Photoshop into screens. The screen on the left is the one where I have my reference, and the screen on the right side is the one where I'll be making the drawing, the painting. The reference is just a picture that I found on Pinterest and I really like it. So I took this image and I made a little overpainting to emulate the look of the game. I started the painting process by doing a little underpainting. This underpainting technique is similar to the one used by traditional painters. Since this is a daylight picture, I'm using a warm base, and with this warm base I can achieve a pretty cool color harmony, and honestly I really enjoy using this method for my paintings. This image took me 3 or 4 hours. And I remember that I started this piece the last week, but I just had to make 3 or 4 sessions of 1 hour each time because I had a cold and I also have a lot of work. So I just had to slow down everything, take some rest, playing some video games, and basically just taking my time to making this painting. My plan for this image was to make just a single sketch, but I ended up making almost a finished illustration. On this part, I just started to work with the reflective shadows of this image, and I also started to making some shapes that I forgot to draw when I was making the sketch. If you notice that my house doesn't look like the ones in the reference, it's because I just wanted to achieve the look of the game. So I made a little search and I found this house that I think you can buy in the game. So I used the color palette for this house to make mine. And with this I can portray better the art and the architectural style used on this game. On this image, I used some photo textures from Google. I didn't use this process in my other image for my YouTube channel, but on this one I want a fast way to achieve a lot of detail in a minimal amount of time. So basically I just put the texture in the right perspective, then I apply a mask, and with that mask I just painted the part that I wanted to see in my image. And that's how. Basically I just use the same process every time I need to paint some textures in flat surface like walls, ceiling, floors, stuff like that. I did have a lot of overthinking while painting the bushes. For some reason I didn't like it how they look, so I tried different colors, I tried different styles, I tried a lot of things to make these bushes look good. But at the end of the image, I think they look pretty good. They look pretty decent. Since this is my first video in English, most of you didn't know about this, but I'm using a different approach for this video. In my other videos, I tend to slowly explain some stuff of my process, and by doing that, the videos gets too long, and I think that's super boring. So only narrating the process like I am doing in this video, I think it's better for me and makes the things easier so I can make more videos for each week. With more videos, I mean the Spanish version and the English version. So if you like this approach and what I am doing on this video, just let me know in the comments, and if you have any recommendations, let that in the comments too, because with that I can improve the way I make my videos, and also I improve my English too because I need to practice a lot. Well, now going back with the illustration, on this part I used a little photo asset, a sky reference that I have in my folder for photo bashing. In my regular work I tend to use a lot of photo bashing stuff, so I'm pretty used to this technique. And the reason why I use this technique right now is because I already used an image for the ceiling of this house, and by doing that I can create a very cohesive look for this image. And here you can watch me suffering with the perspective of this texture, because I didn't use perspective lines when I was creating the sketch for this image, and the resolution for the reference for the ceiling was too low, and I didn't know how this needs to look, so I only indicate the texture. On this part, I just started my ambient occlusion pass. This part in my illustration process is very important because this helps to improve the separation of each object and also help to create a lot of depth in your image. I tend to use two ambient occlusion paths, one big for the overall object and a second one for the smaller objects in the scene, on this case the windows and other details. And for those who don't know what ambient occlusion is, the ambient occlusion is the part where the light cannot reach, and you can find ambient occlusion behind objects, under objects, and in corners. By the way, the ambient occlusion is not the same as shadows. Shadows are other things. Now I just started to work on the character. I always tend to leave the character for the end because I feel more comfortable working with the environment. As you can see, I was moving Link back and forth and trying a different composition because I wasn't sure what story I wanted to tell with this image. So I leave that part like that and started to work in other things. I focused my mind in details and finishing the background. By doing this, you can rest your mind from this problematic part and then come back and work on this part with a fresh mindset. Here on the first ground, I added some shadow of the clouds. I also worked on the details of Link. I added some details on his clothes, I added the clothes on his sword, and I also worked in a better look for the overall image. I did this with the help of some adjustment layers, and I also added some flowers to the field. I worked more in the environment because I really enjoy more this part, and I still wasn't sure if Link was going to work well on this image. So if the character didn't work well, I just used the background, but at the end of the day, the character works well in this image. Here I am just color correcting my image using the camera raw filter. This is a super powerful tool in Photoshop, so if you haven't used this, I recommend you to use this. You can find the camera raw filter in your filter galleries, and this works better with smart objects, and you can turn this color corrective process in a non-destructive one. At this part, I just started to add some damage to this house, so I can improve the overall storytelling of this image. One friend made me this recommendation and I really like it, so I use it for this image. So here it is, guys. This is the final image and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and leave some comments if you want to. You can also support me via Patreon. With your support I can make more videos like this. And talking about Patreons, this time I want to say thank you to all my supporters. And since today is the Thank You Patrons Day, I want to show you a little list with the supporters of this little project. Thank you very much, guys. I love you all.